I'm sure a screen install video will do well. In this video, we'll be installing Retro 6's clean screen for the Sega Game Gear. Since there's no one left to disappoint, let's dive right in and remove these 4 screws to undo the CFL housing. With the LCD pins exposed, let's desolder the ribbon cable with some heat. I'm using a heat gun for this as the LCD panel is still in good working order, but any soldering iron will work. Let's prep these pins as we're going to be soldering to them for this install. The CFL lamp can be removed by heating the end of each point and applying a little pressure to break it free. These fuses are removed the same way. Just heat each end while applying a little bit of pressure, and it should pop loose. Now that our LCD assembly is gone, let's get rid of the L2 coil. To the left of the removed coil are 2 resistors that need to be purged as well. Let's start with resistor R57. Next, let's deal with R56 the same way. If you're following along, you might want to cut the far left power wire. I cut it after installation. Alright, now that all our board prep is out of the way, let's investigate everything this kit contains. You have to purchase everything in this kit individually, which is kind of a pain. It would be nice just to pay for this kit as one unit like all the other screens. Let's first attach this LCD to the driver board. If we don't do this first, our ribbon cable will seem too short when we assemble it. Very carefully, we'll have to tuck the mounting bracket underneath the LCD's ribbon cable for it to fit. To assemble this kit properly, we'll need to sandwich the LCD to the front and the driver board to the back of the main board. And this driver board is so large, I had to adjust my new capacitors accordingly. Now let's screw everything back in to finalize mounting everything. This bracket is pretty weak, so let's avoid torquing the screws or we might end up stripping it. Once everything is aligned as closely as we can get it, let's attach the helper cable to the driver board. This knife soldering bit is not the best tool for this installation. If I had to do it again, I'd use a regular one. Let's be extra careful next to this contrast wheel. Even tapping it with our iron will melt it instantly. The rest of the ribbon cable points to solder are marked pretty clearly. Just make sure to bridge them on their respective components. Let's dry fit the ribbon cable and then tack FB1 down like so. I found this side of the driver board easier to place the ribbon, as I didn't have to snake everything through a ton of capacitors for it to fit. After globbing the resistors below the ASIC with flux, this nice soldering iron made short work of it. After that, let's attach all these points to the driver board to get it going. Let's go over everything to make sure our joints are properly attached before tackling the tedious part. If everything looks fine, let's bend this cable up and over the pins and tack it. It doesn't matter if we bridge anything for the moment. We can always fix those later. The mark in the middle is pin 9, while the other pin on the end is pin 20. Now that everything is assembled, let's give it a test. Except, that's not what really happened. After double and triple checking my connections, I started swapping LCDs. What the hell is going on? And then I saw it. Warmer? Did I miss a couple of capacitors? Sure enough, In this install, I was missing a couple of capacitors this entire time. Since this Game Gear is modded, let's give it a new shell that will help identify it in our future video. And there you have it. And that about does it for this video. Next time, we're going to go ahead and pit these LCDs against each other to see who comes out on top. If you like this video, or if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. And as always, I'll see you next time.